Planet Dolan.
From believing in ghost cows to thinking that the world used to be black and white, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts even more of the best true stories from our subreddit about the dumbest things we believed when we were little. My name is Nixium, and today I will be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by SWAT Kid. When Pringle was little, he loved watching his favorite TV shows, including Pokemon. While watching the show, he thought that if he could break the screen, he could go into that world. So he went to the garage to find a bat. The next time his favorite show came on, he smashed the TV screen. And of course nothing happened, and Pringle was left with broken glass that he stepped on. His parents rushed into the room when they heard the smash, and immediately they called 911, and Pringle was sent to the hospital. When his mother asked him why he smashed the TV, Pringle replied that he thought it was a portal to the Pokemon world. Number 9 was submitted by Marco Tro 157. When Emoji was just a kid, he had this big fascination with Indian culture. The weirdest part was that he thought it was common in India for people to have the power to breathe fire, teleport, and float while doing the lotus position. He even thought that all elephants in India looked like the god Ganesha, which I might have just mispronounced. I apologize, but this came from the fact that he loved playing Street Fighter in the arcade as a kid, so he assumed that all Indian people had similar abilities to Dulcim. Number 8 was submitted by ShadowStaar. Back in the 5th grade, when Andy had little to no knowledge of sex, her best friend told her that one could get pregnant by kissing. Immediately, she began to internally panic as she heard this. Andy remembered that way back in the day she had been playing pretend with her cousin, that she was Princess Zelda and he was Link. He saved her somehow, and to perform their roles correctly, they kissed. Just a little peck, of course. Andy thought that maybe the pregnancy was just dormant for about 7 years, and she was just gonna suddenly conceive a baby sometime in the next week. Number 7 was submitted by Santademonreal. When Talib was little, he thought that Europe was a planet. One of the main reasons he thought this was because he had seen a cartoon in which an alien claimed to be from Europe. Talib had also seen an educational musical cartoon about the Pilgrims, in which it described North America as the New World and Europe as the Old World, which probably added to his confusion. He misinterpreted this as meaning that humans settled on Earth from the planet Europe. Thankfully, no embarrassment ever occurred because of these misconceptions, and nobody ever knew about them until after he was well aware that Europe is actually a continent. Number 6 was submitted by Dark Blaze 4579. The dumbest thing that Spinal Palm ever believed was that the world used to be black and white. One day his mother showed him a black and white photograph, and he asked her, "Why does it look like that?" She answered that there was no color when the photograph was taken. Spinal Palm asked if there was color outside in the real world, and she said that everything was black and white until recently. And so for the next few years, Spinal Palm imagined that everything in the world was black and white when his mom was younger. Interesting. Number 5 was submitted by PuntifulJokes. When Doopy was little, her neighbors had cows in the fields near their house. But one day suddenly, they were all gone. But instead of telling her that they went to heaven, or they went to stay at a new farm, her dad told her that they died and were buried in the fields, and that they were now ghost cows. So for 6 years, Doopy thought there was a bunch of dead cows in her yard, and the ghost cows protected her when she slept. Number 4 was submitted by Java. I code that. The dumbest thing Civil Spider believed when he was little was during the 1st and 2nd grade. This was the stage when girls were like aliens or some sort of foreign species, so having a girlfriend at that age was like being a king. But he had this weird idea of what a girlfriend actually was. Civil Spider thought that every girl he talked to was his girlfriend, so after speaking with a girl, he'd go up to all his buddies and say things like,
"Yeah, she's my girlfriend."
This went on until he told his cousin all about all of his girlfriends, and his cousin then proceeded to explain what that word actually meant. Number 3 was submitted by Kitey Grace 1. When Pandora was little, she was a really smart kid, but she also believed normal kid stuff like if you jump high enough off the couch, you could fly, or if you put glue on the bottom of your shoes, you could climb up the walls. The strangest thing that she believed was that objects had feelings. Not only did she think that her stuffed animals had feelings, but also things like clothes and dressers, and even food. Sometimes she would feel bad if she chose one food over another because she thought food wanted to be eaten. Pandora only felt bad if she was eating animal crackers or dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets because she thought any animal-shaped foods had families, and whenever animal-shaped food is taken out of the bag, they are transported there, and they lose their families forever. Number 2 was submitted by Hockey Tanker 26. When Zaragamba was in 1st grade, he didn't know what evaporation was. When he slept, he always had a water bottle next to his bed on a nightstand, and in the early summer, when the days became hot, he would notice that the amount of water in the bottle would decrease overnight. Zaragamba didn't drink any of the water, so he was puzzled by what was happening. Every night, water would evaporate without him drinking it. So, he came to the rational conclusion that a ghost was drinking his water. He then started hiding his water so the ghost wouldn't find it, but still, some of the water would disappear. He was so frustrated that he told his parents, and instead of informing him about evaporation, they told him to perform weird tasks like putting the water bottle upside down and even putting salt on it. In his next year of school, however, Zaragamba finally learned what evaporation was, and the mystery of the water-stealing ghost was solved. And number 1 was submitted by me. What was the dumbest thing I believed as a kid? I remember when I was little, I thought it was only possible to have a baby once you were married to someone. I just didn't understand why though. I had been to weddings. What was it about this wedding ritual that created a baby? They walk up the aisle, they say a couple words, there's a ring, they kiss. What was it? I remember I pondered on this mystery for many years, until I came to the conclusion it was the ring. The ring had some kind of power that made a baby. That was until I ran into a woman who had a kid, but she didn't have a husband. And now I was even more confused. Nothing made sense anymore. My ring theory, it was thrown out the window. But that was until I took sex ed in school, and then it all made sense because my parents didn't ever explain to me that you gotta do the with the to make the baby. Yeah. Alright. So a huge thanks to the folks over at our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. But we have another question for you. What is the shittiest thing that has ever happened at your school? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. It seems I have to leave you now, mortals, but don't worry, I shall return.